Honestly, does this ballerina costume look any sillier than anything else Hulk Hogan has worn in the ring during one of his real-life fights? Jesse Shade here for Awfully Good Movies on behalf of the JoBlo YouTube network. And I'd like to dedicate this episode that I did on Mr. Nanny back in 2017 in memory of the actor who helped make it an awfully good classic, David Johansen, who passed away at the age of 75 after losing his battle with cancer. And what an incredible legacy that this guy had in both music and film, whether it was pioneering punk rock as leader of the New York Dolls, garnering himself an unlikely hit on the charts as Buster Poindexter, and in between establishing himself as a top-notch character actor in such great movies as Scrooge and such pieces of crap as Car 54. Where are you?
What can I say? Yo, Gunter!
And while David Johansen's death may have all of us crying like Niagara Falls, he will certainly have a more distinguished legacy left behind him than a certain mustachioed co-star of his from Mr. Nanny, especially when it comes to making music.
Can you feel the music? Can you feel the beat? You don't need drugs to...
Very stupid!
Now let us say our prayers and eat our vitamins for this real American episode of Awfully Good Movies. Well, friends, we have arrived at the end of another summer movie season, with last weekend giving us Ryan Reynolds trading wisecracks and firing off bullets with Samuel L. Jackson in The Hitman's Bodyguard. And, look, let's be honest here. I don't really care this week about reviewing a movie that has to have something in common with a newly released blockbuster like I usually do. All I know is that I began this summer reviewing a Hulk Hogan family comedy from New Line Cinema, so I think it's only fitting that I end this summer reviewing the other Hulk Hogan family comedy released by New Line Cinema in 1993, known as Mr. Nanny. I mean, hey, we got a movie called The Hitman's Bodyguard. Hulk Hogan plays a bodyguard in this movie. It works. And even after the failure of Suburban Commando, New Line Cinema still thought the Hulkster had a chance at being a movie star. And if Arnold Schwarzenegger could find success playing a tough guy forced to look over some mischievous brats in Kindergarten Cop, then there should have been no reason that Hulk couldn't have a hit movie doing the same thing. But there was no success to be found for him this time either, not with the critics or with the audiences. And it more or less ended Hulk's chances at being a major movie star. And since I grew up watching this flick regularly alongside Suburban Commando, I shall see if I'll end up just as entertained when I rewatch Mr. Nanny. Or, as the film was originally titled, well, thank God they didn't stick with that title, because I am sure that would have led to a lot of unfortunate confusion for some innocent families.
Well, honey, the paper said this is where the theater is that's showing that Hulk Hogan movie. Yes, we'd like 3 tickets for Rough Stuff, please.
Keep quiet, bitch!
So we open on the hero of our film, Sean Armstrong, played by Hulk Hogan, as he dozes off in the middle of fishing on the dock and has traumatic nightmares of his previous days as a wrestler. Oh no you don't, Hulk Hogan. You do not get to pretend that you're starring in Raging Bull. Just because you got to be in Rocky 3 doesn't mean you have to get cocky. 3. He wakes up to be paid a visit from his former manager, Bert, played by Sherman Hemsley, who tells Sean he's having financial difficulties with his personal security business, and needs his buddy to accept a gig as a bodyguard to keep Bert out of the poorhouse.
I'm not a bodyguard. I'm a wrestler, okay?
Damn it, Jim, I'm a wrestler, not a bodyguard!
So Sean reluctantly agrees to become the bodyguard for Alex Mason, the head of a tech firm played by Austin Pendleton, who's developing an anti-missile defense system that has put Alex in the crosshairs of some evil terrorists.
I desire your new computer chip.
The one for the Peace Finder?
I told you before, it's not for sale.
Everything's for sale.
By the way, did someone tell this guy that his rocket looks an awful lot like a big...
Johnson. Yes, sir.
But as it turns out, Alex doesn't want Armstrong to protect him, but rather his 2 children, Alex Jr. and Kate, played by the clone of the little boy from Poltergeist, and the girl who played Grace on The Nanny. Yep, this girl was in both Mr. Nanny and The Nanny. Which is funny, because Hulk Hogan was actually the original choice for that show before they cast Fran Drescher.
Let me tell you something, Mr. Sheffield. If that bitch CC Babcock doesn't stop talking shit about me behind my back, then I'm gonna leg drop that bitch like I did Macho Man Randy Savage at WrestleMania 5, brother. What do you think, Niles?
Oh my! But the moment Sean arrives at the Mason residence, he finds out why Alex is so eager to have him look over his kids.
Get down!
Apparently Miss Kapowski had a short circuit in her blow dryer.
Oh, this is very bad. Now the agency won't send us any more nannies.
Hey, look, that fire was entirely the nanny's fault. She was just trying to do her impression of Michael Jackson's Pepsi commercial to amuse the kids. That's right, Alex needs Sean to be a nanny to the kids as well as their bodyguard. And Sean soon finds out that these two kids are sick and tired of their busybody father being too occupied with work to hang out with his kids. And since their mom died 2 years prior, they use their skills of inventing gadgets to torture every poor soul who's hired to look over them.
I'm out of shape.
But mind you, this is less the cute version of kids torturing adults that you would see in Home Alone, and more like The Fucking Good Son. Cause these kids are legitimate psychopaths. I know, it's a kiddie comedy. I shouldn't take it so seriously. But I can never get past the thought that what these kids are doing to Hulk Hogan would legitimately kill him. Sure, in a cartoon, it's funny when Bart Simpson electrocutes his dad, but when these kids electrocute Hulk Hogan in a live action movie, I can't help but be a little concerned.
It's only low voltage. You can't kill him. Then crank it up.
Well, turn it up, man!
But soon the kids warm up to Sean, as he starts teaching the kids' absentee father how to be a better dad.
Mommy used to sing me a song. Could you sing it to me?
You got a terrible voice.
Sing.
All right, but I gotta sing my own song.
I used to tear my shirt, but now you tore my heart.
And just as the kids do, you too will warm up to the Hulkster. Because just like Suburban Commando, this touches on just about every base of your average shitty 90s kids comedy. We've already got a couple of mischievous kids torturing some mean old adults, just like any good Home Alone copycat movie should. Our hero has got not just one, but two sassy black actors hurling insults at him. One of them being the cook of the house, played by actress Mother Love. You see, now there's a good wrestling name for you. And what would any 90s kiddie comedy be without a megalomaniacal villain trying to steal a weapon of some kind so he can take over the world? In this case, that villain would be Thanatos, played by David Johansen, who's known to older folks as the lead singer of punk rock legends the New York Dolls, and known to us younger folks as the guy who sang that song you will hear on cruise ships until the end of time. And he gives one of my favorite performances out of any movie that I've done for this show. Seriously, there is not one piece of scenery that this guy leaves unchewed.
I'm positively tingling. The anticipation is almost too much to bear. You are gonna die a slow and agonizing death. You screwed up my hair. Now I'm getting a migraine. Oh, my head! The pressure! The pressure!
Yes, little do you know that if you don't have any aspirin on you, ramming your head into a wall will get rid of your headache immediately.
Head on, applied directly to the forehead.
Plus, he co-wrote the music for this flick. And apparently David Johansen went to the same school as Randy Newman in writing soundtrack songs that literally describe what's happening in the movie.
I just wanna go fishing in the deep blue sea. I'll find a little shack by the railroad track on the outskirts of town. I don't wanna go to school. Why do I have to go to school?
Yeah, I think these lyrics most accurately describe what's going on in this movie. And I think I should mention that the metal plate on his head is from him falling headfirst into an empty swimming pool after he got in a rooftop fight with Sean in the 70s, when Armstrong refuses to throw a wrestling match for him.
I ordered you to throw that match.
My god, he looks like Disco Stu and Otto the bus driver got merged together in Jeff Goldblum's matter transporter.
You mock my hair?
The pool was empty. It would have killed him, but his hair cushioned the fall.
Of course, they couldn't scrape up all of his brain goo, but at least he got a metal plate in the slammer.
Well, that's good for Thanatos, but Richard Belzer sure as hell didn't have anything to cushion his fall when he got his head cracked open by Hulk Hogan.
He's sleeping. Really, I was a sleeper hole. He'll be all right.
So when you mix in a shamelessly hammy villain, two mentally unbalanced kids that I guess we're supposed to be rooting for, and a big, doofy WWE wrestler bringing a dysfunctional family back together through the power of senseless violence, it ends up being a family comedy where all the laughs are unintentional. I mean, this damn movie asks us to believe that Sherman Hemsley can undo some rope tying his hands together by shooting the rope off with an AK-47 that he operates with his feet. And somehow the most unbelievable part of the scene is that dude they hired to stand in for Sherman Hemsley from behind. Come on, guys. You didn't even try. There are literally little kids out there who would make more convincing stuntmen for George Jefferson.
Well, we're moving on now.
But whether or not it's intentional, this piece of crap does give you a lot of joy. And here at Awfully Good Movies, that's all that matters to us. Hey, who needs Mary Poppins when you got Mr. Nanny to look over your kids? After all, Julie Andrews' singing voice is nothing compared to the dulcet tones of Mr. Hulk Hogan.
If you want to be a Hulkamaniac, I can sure tell you how to stay on track.
Oh my head!
Before we continue with our video, here's a reminder to click the store tab on any of our JoBlo channels and browse our collection of the latest and freshest designs in our merch store. Go get you some.
What you gonna do, brother, when Awfully Good Mania runs wild on you?
Well, I would say you would body slam into another round of the Awfully Good drinking game. Take a shot or drink every time the kids spring another trap on an unsuspecting victim.
An electrified toilet seat.
Poison ivy toilet paper.
Oh.
Oops, tripwire. And flour.
That wasn't flour, you stupid kids! That was cocaine!
Hey guys, I'm Hulk Hogan. Stay with me for the next half hour. I'm gonna show you my latest invention, Hulk Hogan's Ultimate Grill.
We cut back to Sherman Hemsley getting his house repossessed. And the sad thing is, I think this is really what happened to Sherman Hemsley after Ghost Fever flopped at the box office.
But do me one last favor.
What's that?
Go by my house and turn off the gas in my oven.
Why can't you turn it off?
Because my head's gonna be in it.
Threatening to commit suicide, Mr. Nanny, rated PG. Someone comes up with another insulting name for Hulk Hogan.
Make yourself useful. Top shelf, lurch, pucker butt, porky.
I got a bum leg ever since I took a bullet for some big lunkhead.
G. Hulk Hogan being insulted by an African American. Now that is what I call poetic justice. Breaking news! Hulk Hogan, will you knock it off, Hulk? We already settled that case out of court. Hulk Hogan growls about how much he hates kids.
I hate kids.
I hate kids. I hate boys.
Really, what the hell is up with Hulk Hogan having to declare he hates something in his movies?
I hate Earthlings.
I already know Hulk Hogan hates kids. Have you seen how his 2 kids came out? And take a double shot, not just when you hear them say the title of the movie in the actual movie.
I'm Sean Armstrong, bodyguard for the kids.
Ha! Mr. Nanny! Mr. Nanny!
But also when you spot a dude in the background throwing his dog into the river.
Beat you with a stick.
Well, I'm sure the filmmakers totally didn't film an act of animal abuse by accident. Of course not. I mean, he could have been sending the dog off to swim for help. Now remember, Rover, the minute you find dry land, tell the Coast Guard that I'm stuck in a crappy Hulk Hogan movie. Have them send a rescue team to get me out of here. Now swim! Swim for your life, Rover! And on the nudie watch, the most you'll get out of this family flick is the pumped up abdominals of Terry Hulk Hogan. You know, I can't believe how accurate they got these muscles down in my Hulk Hogan action figure. I mean, look at this. It looks just like him. I mean, they even got down the copyright notice that he has on his ass, just like he has in real life. On the enjoyableness continuum scale from Bull to Bruce, Mr. Nanny may be from the dude who directed Mannequin, but somehow manages to have a stiffer and more inanimate leading actor than that movie. And Bodyguards, an 8 out of 10. It turns out having Hulk Hogan look over your kids is a bad idea, but I wonder if that dog throwing guy is available. I'm Jesse Shea for JoBlo.com, and now it's time to announce the winner of our first ever Awfully Good Movies viewer poll. Last time I asked you guys which Stephen King sequel you wanted me to review to tie into the It remake. And now, the winner of that poll, with 45% of the vote, is The Rage Carry 2. Congratulations to the lucky movie. We'll be reviewing this one next week. But for now, let us end this review with the song that everyone associates with the legend of Hulk Hogan, known as Real America. I'm kidding, of course. It's another song off of Hulk's shitty album.
Fortune and fame was his middle name. He climbed as high as the sky, he remains the same. With the training and the prayers and the vitamins too.
Are you a Hollywood producer?
Hey, check out Macho, baby.
Oh my god.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.